All right. Hello, GenRight Nation. Thanks for joining us. This is part of a live Tech Talk series we do every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So those will be archived there later, but you're going to want to turn on your notifications to make sure you don't miss us going live anytime we do, because we do it spontaneously in addition to Tech Talk like this. So let's see, we're here to talk about your favorite subject and mine: Jeeping, off-roading, how to build them, drive them, work on them, whatever. And of course, we welcome your questions and comments. So you just type them in, and Jen here will go ahead and read those off. So she's getting her camera set up over there. Let's see. Maybe you can tell us who's watching today. What do we got?
Not quite that ready yet.
Not quite that ready. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump to featured products. So
Okay, I got it.
you do? Okay.
We got Richard Jadlowski says, hi, Tony and GenRight.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Chris Goodnow, what's up, GenRight? Steve
Nice.
Bird, hello, GenRight Nation. VB Tom, will Tony talk about the LJ tanks?
Oh.
Don Cars, good day, GenRight Nation. Byron Roberts, Anthony Paquette, Mike Stewart, Ari,
Nice.
Joe Henry, Joe Mink, Jerome, David Mork.
Very nice. Couple names I haven't heard for a while, so that's good.
And then they're
That's good.
telling us their locations. We got some
Awesome.
Louisiana,
Awesome. Boy, I sure appreciate everybody tuning in. I know not everybody can do it live, so for those of you that can, I sure appreciate that. And of course, you get the benefit of being able to ask questions and us answer them. So today, we are going to talk about a few different things. I've got a couple of products that you guys have asked about. Yep, why don't you push in and we'll talk about those. So first off, a bunch of you had inquired about our not only, like Yeti style mugs, but we've also got a water bottle. This is pretty cool too, with the flip up.
Oh, say hi to Nana.
Hey Nana, all right, awesome.
Hi, Nana.
Thanks for tuning in also. So these are available on our website. We got them put on there. So you definitely want to check those out. Pretty reasonable price. And there is a color selection. I just happened to grab these two to show you guys. These have been up for a couple of weeks already, but I forgot to grab them last couple shows. So when you get a chance, check it out. These are nice. They've got the little flip deal there. They're definitely very nice. Okay, next thing is several people had
Do they come in yellow?
yeah. Do people want yellow?
Yes.
Oh, they do.
People want
Okay.
yellow.
Well, pipe up if you want a yellow one, and we will make some yellow ones. So, Matrix taillights for the JK and the JL. We had people asking us if we could make just what we call the taillight buckets. These are now available on the website, so go ahead and check that out. You can buy these and then adapt or modify your existing corner guards to take the Matrix tail lights, which of course is our new tail light with the side marker lights, DOT approved, built-in backups, very thin, really nice. So definitely check that out. I meant,
Questions.
yeah, what do you got?
Jerome asked, any chance you're going to make mounts for the Matrix taillights?
Hey, James,
JK
since you're going back that way, over by, there's a hard top sitting on the ground. One of our brand new JL corner guards is sitting on that. Would you grab one of those for me? I want to show everybody they have gone into production. Say that question again.
Are you going to make mounts for the Matrix taillights to mount to JK body without corners?
Oh, well, that would be the bezel. So those were the bezels that I was doing that you guys originally saw on Aftershock. And I had some of those in here, but we'd only made them for the JL. So
Everyone wants yellow cups.
Everybody wants yellow cups. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Okay,
the next run, we will make some yellow cups. And I know the right people from GenRight are watching right now, and they will make that happen in short order.
Summer asks, is there a chance of the Forever Wave type GenRight flags coming back? This question has been asked by a few people.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. It's funny because I was just looking, we've got pretty good stock on the adapters, that go on antennas or whatever. And I've got some American flags, but I did not see any more GenRight ones. We can place an order and bring those back. It's wheeling season, so it's a perfect time. Thanks for asking. And again, I know Shane's watching, so he'll take note of that, and we'll get some of those ordered up.
Rick Harrington is giving the starting order for the San Felipe 250.
Oh, nice. Is he in it?
It says top 5 trophy trucks.
Oh,
Price,
gotcha.
Pavel, Menzies, Luke McMillan, and Dan McMillan.
All the big names. That's awesome. Oh, here we go. James got the corner guard for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so I know Summer is watching, right? This is Summer's corner guard for her JL.
Nice.
There is a matching one, but Jamie can only carry one over. These turned out so nice, and now you can actually see that bezel in here. And I can't exactly.
Yeah, someone's asking how do the taillights mount?
Yeah, so the way it works is, can I get real close? Yeah, there we go. These holes are tapped in this back plate. So basically you just put the taillight in here, which I got the wires all over, and then the bolts just drop right in and thread right in. So pretty darn cool. Yeah, and you can see there's the threaded holes. So you're supposed to feed the plug through there. Now,
she's giving heart eye emojis.
What I normally do is I cut the plug off the factory taillight, I put it on this taillight, and then you're able to take them on and off. So that's up to you. Sometimes people want to resell their factory taillights, so in that case you wouldn't want to do that. But they're super nice. I have a set now, Alfie's got a set, and now Summer will have a set. So I'm gonna set those down.
Guards 60, 61?
No, so JK and JL are 1/8 inch cold roll steel. They're not very heavy. I don't have a scale over here. We're gonna bring a scale. Jen, you and I were just talking about the old scale we could bring in here. But they're a great thickness and material for what we're doing. So, and of course, you can paint them, powder coat them, whatever you need to do. You're going to show them again on the floor? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can, now that they're on the floor, I can use 2 hands and put this the right way.
One of our YouTubers said that he just called in and purchased LJ seat mounts and hood louver.
Oh, nice.
An 1800 tow out says super excited to wheel with GenRight at EJS next week.
There you go. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now you can zoom in down here.
All right. Oh, this is awesome. Phones are falling.
Can you see, or do I need to lift it up? Here.
See it.
Here.
No, I got it.
So now you can see how flush the taillight fits, and you can still see the side marker. By the way, this entire edge of the taillight is illuminated when it's on. So it's a really cool look. It kind of has that like fiber optic where the light radiates out. So very clean, well protected by this bezel. And that way if you back into something, it's pretty nice. I'm kind of, there we go, trying to show some different angles on what it looks like. So.
Alex Israel asks, any advice on mounting rocker guard kick plates on a 2013 JKU without the sliders? There's no instructions, so I'm assuming just clamp it, drill it, and then bolt on?
Yeah, actually, it's all about the reveal. So when you hold it up there, you want the edge all the way around each door to look nice and even. And if you just get it where it looks even to you, mark it, drill it, and you'll be good to go for sure.
Two Feather Channel asks, any JL corner guard for factory taillight?
No. So the reason why is this. Can they still see this one on the ground?
Yeah.
So the cutout for the factory taillight is huge. So all the corner strength is gone. You absolutely, trust me on this. You just gotta, I've wheeled forever. I've raced the hammers. I've done everything there is to do out there. This is what you want. You need this strength. I've had a number of people that are, you know, for whatever reason, dedicated to their dorky factory taillights or whatever aftermarket ones they bought. This is what you want. I know this taillight seems small, but it is DOT approved. It's plenty bright. It's got the built-in backups, the built-in side marker. This corner guard, this is formed with a single hit die. We made a special die to do this flooring. So it's super strong, and then you add these details in the top and bottom, and it really strengthens up this whole corner. Your factory corner, you even touch that thing, and it's gonna fold up like a beer can, and I'm telling you, you gotta get rid of it, and you gotta do it before it gets damaged. Put these on before your corner guard gets damaged, or your corner on your Jeep gets damaged, because then these will be a lot harder to put on.
He said, awesome, thanks, Tony.
All right.
Don Cars asked, can the JK Matrix bucket be welded on the LJ corner guard?
Oh, so here's the beauty. The LJ corner guards, these just flush mount. So you don't need that, because the LJ is already flat, and Jamie's Jeep's outside, but yeah, they just mount right to the surface, so it only sticks off about a ½ inch, and it's a really slick. You don't need the bucket.
So they can be welded.
They can just be bolted right on. Done.
Bolted on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Steel or aluminum.
Kelly Sims is watching.
Hey, big kill.
Anthony Paquette said, for those looking for the True Fiber hoods, I spoke to them this week and they have some JK hoods in stock. Just so happens they're 15 minutes from my house, and we'll be getting mine next week or two.
Oh, nice.
Someone else said it was like a 7-month wait when they ordered it.
Yeah. I know that it's like any business that makes products. You know, sometimes they run a bunch and then that's it. When they're gone, and you know, until they cycle back. So.
Summer Ann, don't be like me. Add corner guards before.
Before, yes. It's a real bear afterward. So.
Question.
Right now we're talking about the featured product. We're already there. So are we ready to move on, or you got more questions?
One more question. What's up, GenRight? Will the roll cage work with one-touched power top? Craig Teal in North Carolina.
Okay, good question. We just looked at one last Friday at our Jeep night, and we think it will work. There may be some mods that need to be done, but the reality is that it's not the back that we're worried about. It's the front. It's right up here by the A-pillar. So we haven't had anybody try it. If you want to be the first one to try it, we can, help assist you to get that in, but I think it would go in just fine, so.
Wait, more questions?
You may have to cut some stuff off your factory cage to make it all work, but it's totally doable.
Mike Stewart asked, will the new ones fit the JKU without cutting the factory taillight opening? The new corner guards.
The new corner guards fit the JKU.
Hello, Josh.
No, because we move the light over, and a lot of it has to do with, now this happens to be the JL, but we're going to talk about the JK. And it's too bad because Terremoto's right there, but we can't get to the back of it. What happens is with the hinges right here, we have to move the light in a certain spot to get this bucket. And what you can't see, if I can do this without dropping the light, can they see this right now?
Hold on.
Zoom in for me. Get way in there.
All right.
Way in there. Okay.
Got it.
So the bucket comes through the corner guard. This is where all the strength is added. We're showing you some of our secrets that I otherwise wouldn't show. What happens is right here, where you can see my hand, the bucket comes through on the corner. So you have to cut that part of the body in order to get the tail light or to get the corner guard on the JK or JL. So it just takes a small trim. Trust me, what you're bolting on is way stronger than what was there. So don't sweat it.
Okay, one more. Jim Smith, can I still use my GenRight tire carrier with the new JLU corner guards?
Yes, of course. I've got the JL corner guards on mine. With my tire carrier, so no problem at all.
Jim Whitley said, I should have purchased some before trying to go up Chocolate Thunder. I opted for the cage instead. JKU rolled on its side rear.
Oh, man. Well, okay, so now what you got to do is you got to go to the body shop. They'll cut that whole part off. They'll weld on a brand new one. Then get your corner guards.
All right,
so,
continue.
And by the way, that body damage that you're repairing, you could have easily paid for corner guards in what the body shop costs, so.
Appreciate the answers.
Yeah, so, okay. move on. All right. So today, I wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks. It's wheeling season, right? And everybody needs to get their Jeep ready, their trailer ready, their tow rig, whatever it is you've got, your vehicles need to get ready. So part of what I wanted to, around here, Jamie's been working on his. He pulled his skid plates. He checked a bunch of fittings. He straightened out some of the skid plates. If they got dented, you can put them in the press and straighten them out. If you have, at home, you could do it with a hammer or a sledgehammer or something. But a lot of the time you can just use a big hydraulic press and you can straighten this stuff out. Or you get new ones, and just put new ones on. But you definitely want to check your fluids. You want to check your ball joints. You want to check your tie rod ends, your wheel bearings. So I've got my Jeep here. I was going to show you some of the stuff that I do on mine, and we'll talk about that in a second. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was also what you carry in your Jeep. So if you, by the way, this list and the checklist, because I printed out mine today, right here.
Hi, Cameron.
By the way, all these checklists are available on the GenRight website under Tech Talk. They're downloadable PDFs. So I advise you to go there, download those, print them out, and have yourself a checklist for each time. You're either talking about the stuff you put in your Jeep or the things to check on your Jeep, okay? So we've got all kinds of check. You should print out every single one I have there. They're all super useful. Okay, so my buddy Brad just took his out last couple weekends, got stuck in the mud. First thing I asked him was, where's your tow strap? Well, he didn't have one. So guys, these are the basics, right? Tow strap, some kind of a tree saver, which is just a short tow strap, a first aid kit, a jack of some kind, tire plugs. I want you to carry at least one extra lug nut. Sometimes when you're changing a tire, they fall off in the sand or the mud. They're gone. They fall in a crack of, if you're in the rocks, they fall down, they're gone. I want you to have some way to air up the tires, even if it's slow. You can go to Home Depot or Harbor Freight and pick yourself up a cheap compressor that plugs into the cigarette lighter. At least have that to, even if you're not on a complete flat, have something. Soft shackle or a big D-ring shackle. You need to have some kind of basic tools. If you're a JK or JL guy, we've got pre-made toolkits over on our website from a company called Red Rock or Red Art or something. But they're on our website under Trail Gear. Go there. They have exactly what you need in there. Fluids. You should have all of these fluids, including a funnel. And by the way, if you're on the trail and you're really stuck without a funnel, you can take a piece of paper, just a 8.5 by 11, and you can do this with by the way, a receipt,
Fans are adding what you're missing from the list.
Okay, well, this is a quick show list.
It's funny.
By the way, there's your funnel. Okay, now you use it once and you throw it away, but this will go into the valve cover or into the differential or whatever you need. You just pour it in, and like I say, you can do that with a flyer you have in your car, a receipt, anything, but it's just made out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So, make sure you've got the basic fluids for your vehicle. Sometimes they're specific. So you really want to carry what goes in your vehicle. If you're not sure, it's pretty easy to look up online. So just go there and check it out. Of course, a spill kit of some kind. And by the way, that could even just be a big green trash bag that you throw under the vehicle, just capture whatever's dumping out. And then even the little bit of soil or leaves or whatever got oil on it, and put it in the bag too, and then wrap it up. I definitely want to see you have some spare brake lines, spare steering lines, and some spare bolts, the most likely ones that would leave you stranded. This list goes on, by the way.
All I carry in my Jeep is duct tape.
You might find duct tape on here. An electrical kit, including some fuses and relays.
There they are.
Yeah, vice grips, zip ties. This is supposed to say rescue tape. U-joint, if you've got light ones, flashlight, water grease gloves, some kind of a, radio, whether it's GMRS or race radio, GPS. I carry an InReach. By the way, that's got a Save Me Now button on it that if you're really stuck, they'll send out search and rescue to get you. A jump box. These are great. They can charge your USB stuff. They've got a light on them, and they can jump start your Jeep. JB Weld or an epoxy stick. What you're looking for is fast curing epoxy to seal up a hole in an oil pan or something like that, gas tank. Spare belts, snatch block. So, guys and gals, you can choose to ignore my advice, but I'm telling you, if you have these items, you won't need them. If you don't have them, you will need them. So,
BB Thompson's pit crew is helpful.
Yeah, pit crew.
John Sullivan, you're missing an ARB fridge freezer for drumsticks.
Yeah.
Josh carries a 12-volt oven so he can make little pizza
That's
snacks.
right. That's right. Actually, I have one of those too. Josh
That's
got it for me.
awesome.
Yep, very
Toilet
cool.
paper,
Well, though I wouldn't.
shovel,
Yeah,
baby wipes.
yeah, all that stuff. Yes.
This list
So,
is incomplete.
yeah. I mean, if I were you, I'd bring a jacket and a sleeping bag too. But whatever. By the way, we have runs like that. When you come out to the Hammers with us, if you come to me after lunchtime and you say, Tony, I want to go run Spooners or Outer Limits, I'm like, you better bring a sleeping bag because you might be spending the night. So.
Are you going to be at Sierra Truck this year, Tony?
I don't know about Sierra Trek. We're gonna leave it on this slide.
Snow stops.
I know that's we're trying to plan a Rubicon trip. Everything's kind of jacked up. So okay, let's I'm gonna talk through the tips and tricks, and then we're gonna go on to events. So if you're interested in events, sit tight. I've even got a slideshow to show you guys. So okay, so pivot over here, please.
Still being funny.
Okay.
Fans are funny.
They are funny. Okay. I suggest that you get, whether you have a floor jack, a bottle jack, a scissor jack, whatever you got, jack up each tire to the point where you can spin it, okay? I want you to listen. Do you hear rocks in the brakes? Do you, is there a lot of friction? You're gonna bump it like this and you're gonna check the wheel bearing, you're gonna check the ball joints, you're gonna check the track bar. These are all things that you wanna make sure are in good condition before you head out. I also, believe it or not, if you have beadlocks, I want you to double check the beadlock bolts and the lug nuts. Okay, those are all very important things. Then I want you to get underneath here and I want you to visually inspect for leaks, worn hoses, frayed belts. You can pull the diff cover, get your finger in there to make sure that the oil level is acceptable. And and I have my little light too, if we're short on light. Is somebody complaining about light?
You're a little funny.
So yeah, and I inspect the sector shaft on the steering box to make sure that the splines are not twisted. And really, I'm just doing a visual. Now, I had just put new ball joints in. My brakes are fresh, but I am gonna double check the lug nuts, and those should be 90 to 100 pounds for a 1/2-inch stud, which is what everybody has. And then you really need to look and make sure that things that were zip tied up, are still there. If you've used your winch, you want to make sure that it's spooled back in and clean and good. If you're not sure, pull it out and make sure the remote works. Oh, and by the way, make sure you have your remote handy. I hate it when somebody's like, oh yeah, my remote's in the back. Well, that's not where it should be. It should either be in the center console, in the glove box, or plugged in and ready to go, okay? Yeah.
What caster angle do you guys run on 1-ton JKU on 40s? 6 degrees seems to still wander on the highway.
Yeah, 6 degrees is not enough. You definitely need more than that. We're running, our standard is 10. So, yeah, it's a lot.
All right.
Okay, so then, under the hood, I'm gonna let this down.
Will you be joining Sean Wales from 4-Wheel Drive 24/7 in Australia when he comes wheeling next month?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know he was coming. All right.
All right. We'll have to talk about that.
Okay, under the hood, I want you to check your power steering fluid. I got my light here.
Josh, he was asking about the caster angle for 40s on a JKU.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was the 10 degrees.
10 degrees, yes. At least 10 degrees. And if you've got, I'll tell you this, you're not gonna get 10. The reason we get 10 is because I have the Curry axles custom made. You would have to cut and turn your knuckles to get 10. This is the whole thing with everybody not listening to us about what we recommend. They all choose to go do their other thing, and that's great, but you're slowly, one by one, you will realize why we do everything, so.
Is the caster negative?
No, if it's negative, it's gonna, think about a shopping cart at the grocery store. You know those wheels that are just like flopping all over? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You need caster in order for the vehicle to go straight. By the way, it's not really well, I could do this real quick. Let me start this. I want to show you something.
Can you hear me, Josh? Has the long...
Okay, what I want everybody to notice, can you see this tire?
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like maybe even need to zoom in a little.
You're real washed out, but I can see
Okay,
the
that's
tire.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want everybody to notice is that this tire, just like a motorcycle, is leaning into the corner.
Okay.
Can everybody see that? This is what caster does, okay? This is what by the way, if you look at any Mercedes, Porsche, BMW, when you see that car turn, you are going to see this, okay? This is how a vehicle works. This is the proper way to make a vehicle work. And any GenRight GPC, this is what you'll find. Okay, back to this. I want you to check the radiator fluid. Okay, now obviously the vehicle has to be cool. Don't do that while it's hot. I want you to check your power steering fluid, your oil level. If it's an automatic, your transmission oil level, your brake fluid, all of your critical fluids, including your air filter. Okay, so these are all the basics. Then I can tell you I've seen so many problems with loose battery terminals, dirty stuff, corroded. You know, get under here and make sure that this stuff is in working order, okay? These are basic things. Can they see pretty good or kind of not really? Camera's a little low.
I'd have to pick up the camera to show
That's
you
okay.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
basically, we're under the hood, right? You need to open the hood. If you've never opened the hood, then you need to take it somewhere that can open the hood. But this is what you got to do. And by the way, for all of you watching, you should see daylight coming through here because I took the factory vents that, by the way.
Summer said also check the turbo coolant reservoir if you have a turbo.
These just
Jail.
pop out, by the way. Okay? And then you just take a cutoff wheel, you trim this, and the bottom falls off. Okay? This is what I've been talking about on your Jeep.
Yeah.
And then they just pop back in. Okay? This is not magic. And if you haven't done it, you should. Okay? Because that lets all the heat out. Remember, I was telling you guys, your battery is only made to sit in an environment about 190 degrees. And as you go over that, which by the way yours is probably at 250 degrees, you start taking years off of its life. If you can keep your battery 180 degrees or less, it will last for 10 years. So all good stuff. See, I'm giving you all my tips and tricks today.
Yep.
What else you got?
Well, Jeep Talk Show said, I think you can use a paper clip to run the winch if you have to, according to R.D. Anderson.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that you're talking about like here. So like say you don't have your,
remote, yeah.
if you don't have your remote, you can find the two terminals and touch them together. Yeah.
And then he also said during our roundtable meeting, we talked about wheeling with Tony at EJS. Everyone is scared we don't have the build necessary to go with him.
Well, we're only running Pritchett one day. All the other days, you know, EJS Moab has a lot of good trails out there, and we're going to show you some pictures here in just a minute of the different trails and stuff.
You're bringing aftershock, right?
This is what I'm bringing right here. Yep.
Realize
And actually, this vehicle being sitting here is because I was really doing my check. So I'm not just talking about this, I'm actually doing it.
Nick Repanush says, did you put that dipstick all the way back in?
He and I have had them pop out and then oil go everywhere. So yeah, good question. Man, you guys are sharp.
They are.
I like
They're
it. I like it.
hilarious.
Okay, so if you've got coilovers, you need to double check the nitrogen at least once a year in your coilovers and your bump stops. I also like to inspect my drive shafts. By the way, you know, if you've got a standard style drive shaft, they paint everything. And if the cap spins, you'll see raw or bare metal area. That means the drive shaft, the U-joint, is out of grease. So you need to take that apart and grease it or replace it. So lots of little tips. If you've got a newer Jeep, JK, JL, those have a rubber booted CV. And if that rubber's cracked, you absolutely need to fix that. That baby will run out of grease and start on fire. So, yep. What else? Any other questions right now?
They're learning and listening.
They're learning and listening. Okay. So if you've got Johnny joints, this is the time. You just heard John say it last weekend. You need to grease them before each trip. So that's what I did. I've already greased my Johnny joints. I've done a nut and bolt check.
No one got the MacGyver joke? I call it you MacGyver.
Yeah, MacGyver, yeah.
Because that's a paperclip.
That is.
Oh, R.B. Anderson, is that a MacGyver reference?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Okay, so like we do on a lot of our vehicles, we mark the nuts and bolts, and then we know if they've actually turned. So that's a trick. You can do it with a marker, you know, like a Sharpie or a permanent marker, or you can do it with torque seal, which can be ordered online.
Carl the Marine from Oceanside says there's a checklist like this on the website that you can print.
That's right. That's right.
great.
I just showed everybody right here. So go print your checklist, and they're all on there. They're PDFs, so we're not giving you any viruses. You don't have to worry about downloading something. So check that out.
Okay, here's a question.
Sure.
From James Rostocki.
Should we turn back this way? Is it too bright?
How do I know when my muffler bearings need to be replaced?
Muffler bearings. Okay, so if it sounds dry and raspy, your muffler might need to be replaced. I like it.
Okay. Top on or off aftershock this year?
Going with the top, and if the sun's out, the top will be off and half doors for
Have
sure.
you figured out the disco lights inside aftershock yet?
Yes, they're fixed. Yeah.
Fixed?
Yeah.
What?
Done.
I missed this.
You did, yeah.
That's so exciting.
Oh, and by the way, for all of you watching, I had planned on putting some slides in here. I just test drove now for 150 miles our first EXS 392. So it's finally done, and we're in the test drive process, and then it'll be delivered to our customer. So that's the first of 12 we have lined up. So we're very excited about that around here. By the way, you know, so Jamie, I told you, was working on his Jeep, lubing Johnny joints, fixing skid plates. Jeff decided he was going to put in new axles and drive shafts, and he was doing a lot of major stuff. Brakes, he did R1 brakes. He's got a lot of things going on. So yeah, lots of good
Gardner
stuff.
asked, is there a cheat sheet for all the different bolt torque specs?
There is. It's also on my website. So go over to the GenRight website, go under company, you'll see Tech Talk, then go to that page, scroll down, and all of the downloadable sheets and bolt torque specs are there. Gear ratios are there, shock setup specs, all your packing lists, your tools, everything's there, guys and gals.
Your mom's got to go. She said have a safe trip and a safe EJS. Angels on your shoulders.
Nice, thanks, Mom.
Gary Vickers asked, going to install Elite kit on 2013 JKU going with 2.5 Kings. Should I go with clickers or go to IBP?
So here's the reason. By the way, both of those are great options. IBP is my preferred setup because of this. So the axles, tires and wheels weigh a lot. They're 1,500, 2,000 pounds. They're very heavy, okay? The rest of the Jeep's probably only 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. What I'm getting at is you've got a lot of what we call unsprung weight, okay? So what we have to do is spring the vehicle as light as possible so that you get a nice ride, but then at the last second, slow it down. So what I do on mine is I run an IBP and an air bump so that last 2 inches, it's full hydraulic lockdown, and you will find the best overall performance with that. So if it's not too late and you still have the option, it's a minor amount of money to upgrade from the clicker to the IBP. It is money well spent. So yeah.
What is clicker and IBP?
So a clicker is a compression adjustment, and right here. I usually keep this stuff around.
It's like how you shock tune?
Okay, so everybody can see this little red knob here.
Yeah.
So whether it's a Fox or a King, they all have what they call a compression adjustment. So what this will do is this will add 20%. Each click is worth 1%. You can add 20% compression dampening, okay? And that is a really cool way to adjust for people in your vehicle or gear in your vehicle when you need extra dampening control. Now, when you get an IBP, not only do you get that, you get the clicker, but you also get an internal valve that right at the top slows the thing down even more than the compression knob. And the IBP has what's called a spike control valve. So if you just nail a ditch or hit something that you weren't expecting, the spike control valve closes for a split second in addition to all the dampening control. So once you go to a coilover, it is so much more advanced in its ability for dampening, both compression and rebound, and then spring rates, that you can run 2-3 spring rates if you want. And then when they kick in, and it's that adjustability allows you to really dial in the vehicle if you want. So all things that you don't have with a regular spring and shock.
Cool, thank you.
And I got a whole video on that too.
Caught up on questions for the moment.
We are. Okay.
People like to send 20 at a time. Right after you start talking.
Okay, it's we got about 15 minutes. Let's talk about events. So, but for the people that we're looking for, when you go to our website, this is what the homepage looks like. You just touch company, and then you'll see Tech Talk. Click on that, and then it'll open up and scroll down, and you can find all those sheets we were talking about. And okay, so let's get out of here and go to the video, which is the next one. Come on.
Down.
Down. And okay, so obviously we're about to head out to Easter Jeep Safari, and it takes us a couple days to drive there from here in RVs and trailers and stuff. If you've never been, the trails are awesome. This is a trail ride for us from last year. This is up at Area BFE, and I don't recognize this trail, probably Pritchett. This looks like Pritchett Canyon. You can see Silver Surfer, Kelly was out there. There's Craig Colbert and his Tracer. There's Kelly. This is coming up Rocker Knocker. And this is me over at Potato Salad Hill. As you can see, there's a little bit of snow on my hood. But the main thing I wanted everybody to watch is the dampening control and how the vehicle behaves on an obstacle like this. Most people would toss their salad on this, so being able to do that. Speaking of toss salad, that was Kelly just flopped over in one spot there. And this was, I can't even remember what trail we were on, but you had to come up this sand hill. And I don't know if you can hear Jamie's engine, but it sounds great ripping up there. He's got a slightly built LS3, just ripping along about 6,500 RPM there. That's pretty cool. Of course, it snowed on us last year. I wasn't very happy about that. And then back to Pritchett Canyon. Beautiful, beautiful area. Look at the snow on the mountains back there. Of course, there's a vendor show. This is called Rock Pile. This, in a normal Jeep, nobody would even pull up and put their wheels on this. And as a lot of you know, Cameron did our TJ to LJ kit and just drove right up it. So pretty darn cool. So all right, so that's we can just let that play in the background, but pretty cool. Then after Easter Jeep Safari, we head to Jeep Beach. So if you're an East Coaster, join us there. We're actually, let me back up to Easter Jeep Safari. Thursday night, we're doing a meet and greet. The event is over on Facebook, so you can get the details on that. And if you're fortunate enough to track me down during Easter Jeep Safari, I will give you some GenRight swag. We are bringing some special stuff. So we've got specially printed t-shirts for this year and some other swag. So definitely track us down. That also goes for Jeep Beach. We're gonna have brand new special shirts and stuff. So yeah, you're definitely gonna wanna track us down at these events. And then of course at Jeep Beach, we've got a booth over at the Speedway on Friday and Saturday. So please come see what we're doing. We're gonna have some special participation stuff for anybody that comes to our booth at Jeep Beach. So
Like yellow hats?
oh geez, don't even start that. Don't even start
that. Either. we were having trouble tracking down a bunch of yellow hats to steal the look.
And then after that, so that Jeep Beach is the end of April. Then end of May is High Desert Roundup, or HDR, out here. So if you're out here, please join us for that. A great family-friendly event. All of these, Easter Jeep has a ton of different trails. I think you saw on the slide, it's like 49 different trails of varying degrees of difficulty. High Desert Roundup also has a ton of trails, and it's the only event that has these Jeep games, which are super fun. So if you don't know anything about that, then you should come check it out.
Oh, this is a good question from Josh.
Sure.
What are the odds of getting a GenRight maternity shirt made?
Whoa, that is possible.
For Kimmy.
But by the way, for a long time, I don't know if they're still on the website or not, but we had onesies, little baby onesies. So if not, we can make some more. So
which one are you leading on HGR? George Gonzalez asked.
Typically, I lead Pumpkin Eater. And for those that make it through Pumpkin Eater, I lead the next run. It's called Death Star, and it is tough. You will never forget it. So, yeah.
Jeep Talk Show said we have 10 to 15 JTS people going to EJS. Everyone has a yellow baseball hat to wear. Everyone.
I love it. I love it.
KS Durham said he wore the black and white GenRight hat while in Cancun last week and got a lot of comments at the pool bar.
Nice. Very cool. Everybody loves Jeeps and off-road, and you know, hopefully those people knew who GenRight was, or they were just asking what it was. So that's cool.
Somebody said earlier they want to meet the famous Tony.
Oh, geez. Yeah, well.
Can we bring some onesies back? Mikey's going to be a dad in October, Jerome said, this
Wow.
year.
Nice. Yeah, heck yeah, we can.
We've got a lot of Jeep babies.
I'm sure Jamie's the one responsible for that, so I'm sure he's watching, and we'll get him fired up. But we've had a lot of good ideas tonight. We've had the yellow cups, the onesies, the maternity. We have all kinds of stuff.
Is Death Star on Monday?
No. Basically, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday are our wheeling days. So,
Kathy McCavis asked if you're going to do a Tech Talk tour at Mickey Thompson. It would be cool to see their factory.
I will. And we'll be doing Tech Talk live from Moab next week. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting too.
Onesies, maternity shirts, and youth small shirts for kids.
Youth small shirts, okay. And cups.
And cups.
Right, yellow cups.
Yellow hats, yellow cups.
You guys are great. I love it.
Want to hang out with you.
I love it. Hang out anytime. Anytime. Yep, I'm going to have my RV out at Easter Jeep Safari, and then we will be down in town. We'll be at Zach's, we'll be at Pasta J's, we'll be at Blue Pig, all the different restaurants and stuff every night. Track us down, say hi. It's the reason we're out there, to talk to people and mingle. So by all means, don't feel like you're bothering us at any of these events. We're there to talk to you. So by all means, All right.
Mark Davenport says, see you guys at HDR.
Cool.
Oh,
Cool.
Brigitte Hopkins said Keith and Cheyenne need maternity shirt and onesies too.
Wow. Okay, so that's good. That's really good. Yeah. We'll get those up, and then we'll report back. Probably that week that we're back from Easter Deep Safari, we'd probably have them in stock by then. That'd be cool.
Tashina Griegos had just made my first GenRight purchase for my LJ this week. Super stoked.
Nice. And for those of you talking about apparel and stuff, you know we have a ton of women's stuff. So if you're not familiar with that, go over to our website, check it out. We've got cool, like women's, what do you call this? Like a jogging jacket? Yeah, it's got the thumb holes and they're cut for a woman. And we've got some other shirts and stuff too, so.
Rick Harrington, are you flying or driving to Jeep Beach this year?
I am flying, but we are sending somebody with my Jeep, so yeah.
Tony will be at Jeep Beach.
I will, and I'll have Aftershock there, for sure.
Kathy McCavis says, we guys do a great job. Oh, what about the GenRight swimsuits?
Oh,
I forgot to ask Jamie about the swimsuits.
yeah.
We wanted yellow Speedo one-piece swimsuits to wear on the beach.
This is going too far.
We got 4 girls gonna be surrounding Tony all around Jeep Beach.
Yeah.
We're gonna all dress in GenRight swag and look cute.
Yes, and be available for pictures. Yes. So, oh, and we're co-sponsoring a party with Track and Trail on Thursday night at Jeep Beach. So you're definitely gonna want to check that out too.
Oh, really? A couple people are saying they can't hear me very well, so I'll move my mic closer. But
Yeah.
last time I could hear myself breathing, and it made me nervous.
Yeah.
I want to hear myself breathing.
Let us know if you can hear her better now.
Is this better?
She moved it way closer. We do have our surfboard. We can bring that back to Jeep Beach as well.
Any updates on mirror mounts for the half?
Yes,
doors,
actually, I meant to grab them. They're here. They're just call in and get your order in. I'll make sure those get listed on the website tomorrow, but they are here and done.
Tim Chrisley asked, do you have any tips on how I can get some space between my tire carrier catch pin, the bars, and the bars key that bolts onto the cage because it's so tight it keeps rubbing the paint off the top of the bracket?
Tire
Is there any way to get some more space between the tire carrier catch pin and the bars key that bolts onto the cage? Is it so tight? It rubs on the top of the bracket.
So if we're talking about
Can you guys make a GenRight stroller?
if we're talking about the latch pin, there should be a thick rubber O-ring on the bottom of it so that when it goes down,
Yes, much better.
that it can't rattle. So if that's what you're talking about.
Okay, between the catch pin and the bottom bracket on the tire carrier.
And the bottom bracket on the tire barrier. Maybe, I'll tell you what. Shoot a picture of what you're talking about or a quick video and email it to me. And I definitely have an answer for you, okay?
Grant Herring said he picked up a JKU with the Elite suspension with 3.0s. Excited to try it out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You lucked out. Rarely are those available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep it from flying open the spare tire carrier.
Yeah, I mean, that's the latch pin. So I just need to understand what it's doing
Yeah.
on them. Yeah.
Steve says he needs a set of half door mirror mounts. Steve Bird.
Okay, cool. I'll bring, oh, and by the way, I am bringing one set of corner guards to Easter Deep Safari for a JL that would be available for sale. So anybody who's absolutely got to have a set, I will have one set there. So it's all I can fit with all the other stuff. I'm bringing cages, I'm bringing all kinds of stuff for people that are pre-ordered. So.
Craig Teeling asks, is there available fuel at EJS?
There's plenty of fuel there in town at the gas stations. So if you've never been there, everything kind of takes off from the middle of town and then the trails are all over the place and then end up back in town. So easily, if you top off, you can make it even on the longest, something like Pritchett, you can make it no problem all the way back to town on one tank. So.
Tim Chrisley said, thanks, I'll shoot you an email. Rick Turner says, love Tech Talk. Hate it when I have to miss it. I've learned so much this year. Tech Talk University. We need shirts.
Yeah, okay. So we've got brand new shirts. So basically this was a limited run. We still have a few of these left. Jamie's got a brand new design that I saw being printed today at our t-shirt place that looks really trick. Those are going to be out. Then we've got our limited edition Easter Jeep Safari, our limited edition Jeep Beach, and one more surprise shirt and a women's V-neck that's also coming. So we've got, it's the beginning of the year, right? It's the beginning of the season. So we got all kinds of cool stuff coming out, the cups and everything like we talked about. I know I saw some more hats being made. We're coming out with stuff like crazy. So
Jim Smith asked, are you bringing JLU products to Jeep Beach? No products, right? Just swag and stuff to give away and win.
So we commonly refer to me delivering product as the Tony Express, if you've never heard that before. If you pre-order some stuff, now, granted, depending on what it is and depending on how many people want to pre-order stuff, the Tony Express could throw a few of these things on the trailer.
Cool.
So, yeah, just call in. You got to place your order like normal. Talk to Andrew or Jeff, and then they can make sure that it gets in with me, and we can bring that back to you.
Okay, we're all caught up.
Awesome. Well, we've got just a few minutes left. We've shown you everything we needed to show you. So fire in those last couple of questions, and then we'll wrap it up and let everybody get on with the rest of their evening. I really appreciate everybody. While I'm waiting for a couple of those questions, if you're happy with our product, please go over to the product page, the one that you bought it from, and write a review. Just click write a review, give me 1 or 2 sentences, and I would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to fill in our reviews on all of our products on the website, so I would sure appreciate that. And then, like always, even if for some reason you can't get to one of these events to bring your own vehicle, or you don't feel your vehicle is up to par, you're always welcome to ride along with us. Inevitably, we've always got an open seat, and would love for you to experience what one of our Jeeps feels like. I'm sure you would be nothing but impressed. So, and I'll have Terremoto back at HDR. So right now it's behind the camera in a million pieces because I'm changing the engine, transmission. Fox is doing some really cool stuff for me on the shocks. They've got some new stuff. And yeah, we got a ton of stuff going on, a ton, including that 392 that we just finished with our EXS suspension. And this is the first of many that we'll be doing. So, of course, we're still doing our tracers and our
Jerome still hasn't ridden in an Elite JKU yet.
Who's that?
Jerome.
Oh, really? Oh, man, he's missing out. So, he comes to our Simi Valley Jeep night, and not long ago, I brought Terremoto, and a couple people wanted rides, and I just mowed over stuff that they couldn't believe. I mean, I didn't use the driveways, I didn't use anything that was around there, I just went wherever I felt like, and you don't even feel it. Like, it's indescribable, so.
Okay, what are the pros and cons of a rear leaf spring center pin relocation? Anthony Atkinson asked.
So that for a leaf spring guy, it can give you a little bit of extra stretch without actually moving the front and rear spring attachment points, right? You just move the perch back a little bit. It's only 1 inch, but you know what that can do is it can keep the tire from rubbing on the front part of the fender well. It'll kind of center it up more so that when it collapses, it's in the middle of the wheel well. So it's a great way to do it. And instead of moving the rear shackle back or doing something else, it's an inexpensive way to accomplish that.
Brett Waters asked, what tire pressure do you run off-road with 40-inch Baja Boss and beadlocks?
Okay. This is getting to be a much more technical question. So I'll give you an example. Last year when we were out here at Easter Jeep Safari, we went over to Widowmaker, and I had 8 pounds front and rear. Got up on Widowmaker and squirreled around for a while. I'm surprised we didn't have that video in here. The guy behind me, I told him to drop his front tires 2 pounds to 6 pounds, and he literally drove right up. So and remember, when I'm talking tire pressure, we're always talking cold, right? They're gonna heat up from there. They heat up 3 pounds. Air is super predictable. You're going to get 3 pounds every time. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm really, I know I'm just crawling and we're going for all out performance, I'm going to start at 6 and they're going to come up to about 9. So that will be phenomenal. Now, if you're in a position where you need ground clearance and traction, then you got to fudge that a little bit. But you want to put your tire pressure where they won't hop. You want your tire to spin, and so you can spin it and bite. If it hops, you're on the wrong pressure. Okay?
Sean Tomodakas, can we get a ride up Potato Salad Hill?
Sure. Yeah, meet me out there. I'd be happy to give you one.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
KS Durham, any local SoCal trips, trail runs in the plans for May, June? High Desert Roundup.
High Desert Roundup is a good one. And you can, by the way, you can come for just a day. It's close enough.
It's in Barstow.
It's in Barstow, so that's easy. Oh, and by the way, we're thinking about Potato Salad Hill, I go there every single day. This is where I end our day. If we've been out trail running and stuff, I always go to Potato Salad Hill. I hang out for about an hour and see who's over there rolling over or whatever. And if I go up and down a couple of times and give people rides, then great.
Carl, the Marine from Oceanside, said there's too many items and reviews to write. It would take forever.
Well, do a little at a time.
Get started, Carl.
Do
it tonight. You'll be done in a month. Old YJ40, when is GenRight going to come check out the Pacific Northwest?
We talked about that for this year. This year presented a couple of different issues for us, mostly having to do with the economy.
And what about Jeepers?
What about Jeepers?
Are you going?
No.
Okay.
No, it overlaps with another event we like to go to. So, sorry.
All right.
Yeah. So,
that's everything.
And it's 6 o'clock. So,
thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. And we will be coming to you live from Eastern Safari next Wednesday. So, make sure you tune in. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening and week.